and we're overrun. Sending boys in the trucks with the 50 cals. Tell every swinging deck bring extra rounds. Hang in now, boys, we're on our way. Don't send them all to heaven before we get a taste. Whoa, cry havoc, let's slit the doors of room. What you gonna do?
And happy Sunday to you folks. Welcome to another edition of the Double S Podcast. We're back. We're back live again, our second in a row. We got a streak going now. Y'all, I'm dragging booty right now. It has been a busy last few days here. All good stuff, though. I'm not going to complain, man. I've been out fishing. I've been hanging with some awesome people. Counting my blessings every day, man. Good Lord above, He provides, man. He keeps us on a path that He knows we can handle. So I'm gonna keep taking my vitamins, drinking my water, and keep digging, man, because He knows I can do it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm not sure what the lessons are that He keeps teaching me in these tournaments, y'all. I gotta tell you, I don't know what it is. And I'll openly admit this. I do my very best to rarely, if ever, when I pray and when I speak to the man above, I don't try to ask for things for myself. I usually try to, if I do go ask for things, I usually ask for things for my family and my friends. And it's usually around health and wisdom and peace and things of this nature, because I believe that's really the things that matter in this world. But I don't know, y'all. I might be going and asking, hey, would you mind if I had a limit, Lord? I mean, that might be all right. If you so see fit to let me catch a limit, that would be okay. I don't even care if they're little rats. Just something to give me even a false sense of hope. No, not for nothing. It's been a great time. CKB opened up, man. We had our first event here, and as usual, one of the guys commented this online here. The fastest way. I mean, we have had. Keep in mind, y'all, here in Colorado. In the Denver metro area, my snowblower has not run all year. I'm actually worried about the gas that's in it right now. Number two, I've not had to shovel once. We've been lucky enough that the sun has just melted snow so quickly, what little bit we've gotten. And so, of course, we put a tournament on the schedule in April, and what happens? It snows the day before. Then it cleared up. Actually, tournament day checked out to be okay. It was a real chilly morning start. Buddy and I, you know him, Brick, our co-host here that jumps on. We opted to get a little bit later start. We were in no mood whatsoever to try to deal with the freezing temps. So we late started the thing and then got ourselves going, but still had a good time. Great to see all the faces at the CKB. Scott Brands, hats off to your brother. He smashed them. I mean, just smashed them. Put up like 84, almost 85 inches, I think, for the day. For those of you watching stuff that are out in the Midwest or in the South, in those areas, that's a big bag for us out here, y'all, in Colorado for bass. That's a heck of a work day to put in, especially at Chatfield Reservoir of all places. So yeah, that was a heck of an accomplishment. I know that's like barely top 10 for some leagues out there, but out here that's a heck of a deal. So 11 limits though out of 46 anglers, if that tells you how tough it was fishing. Barely a quarter of the field got their limits out there. There's quite a few folks with 4. There were several skunks in the field there, but it was tough. That frontal condition, that can always throw things and make things kind of goofy. But at any rate, that was awesome. Hey, before we go too much further here, folks, let me go ahead and let's pay the bills here. We haven't done that in a while, so let's make sure and do that. Every episode of the Double S Podcast, as you know it, is brought to you by the Romans Warrior Foundation. # helping is healing. Go check them out, Romans Warrior Foundation. Many divisions that they have out there. I'm a program manager for the Field Ops division. It's what gave my little nonprofit the start, man, was working with Brian and getting this stuff going. We facilitate the outdoor adventures that we do, from kayak fishing and camping, and attacking those three major pillars that we do out there, which is remove isolation, rebuild community, and restore mission and purpose. These are three major points that every one of our programs attacks those areas time and time again, and that's exactly what we're out here to do for our brothers and sisters. And the Romans Warrior Foundation makes that possible. Maybe one of the biggest areas and divisions that they have is the Global War on Terror's Wall of Remembrance. This mobile monument is the only mobile monument in the United States that travels from coast to coast, that covers the entire GWAT era. Okay, there's many beautiful memorials and fantastic memorials out there, but this is the only one that goes from 1983, the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, Lebanon, all the way through the withdrawal. Okay, and even into current day and age. This is the only one, and it's important that we remember these times, folks. The GWAT era vet for my generation, I'm 53, and to be honest with you, GWAT, Global War on Terror, is basically our generation's Vietnam, right? And so it's important to make sure. And unfortunately, with the current events that are taking place, we're building a new batch right now. A vet's going to be coming through here, so we need to make sure we're prepared as a community to take care of them. After they have given us so much. And this mobile monument, folks, I'm telling you right now, if you want to take your town event and take it to the next level, reach out to the Romans Warrior Foundation, get the GWAT wall coming to you there. We're in the process of the GWAT wall needs a next rendition. She's getting kind of long in the tooth there, and to make sure that we're honoring the way we'd like to, there's a lot of work that needs to be done going into this next generation wall that we want to create that makes it a little bit easier for us to haul it around the country. Out there. So reach out, talk to Brian if you think you've got means that you can help with this. Of course, the tow vehicle situation is always an area that we could use help in there as well. So reach out to the Romans Warrior Foundation. Lots of ways you can help support. The Heroes Media Group, Mr. Adam Bird out at Military Creator Con this weekend. Really wish I could have been down there. If we didn't have a packed schedule, we would have absolutely joined him down there. Without Heroes Media, we wouldn't be where we're at with the Double S, doing what we're doing and having the just the long leash to really go out there and try to create some entertainment and create content worthwhile that stays on task. And that's because of Adam Bird and all of the great podcasts that are on the Heroes Media Group out here. Go check them out at heroesmediagroup.com. You can see all the podcasts there, something for everybody, something on almost every night, resources galore. All right, the bills are paid. Folks, we're talking fishing tonight. We're going to get into some fishing. We're talking about another podcast, too, that you need to go check out, especially if you're anywhere in this this Great Plains region here that we're in, from Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, all around this area here. This is a fantastic podcast hosted by two dudes that know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to fishing. And not to mention the fact that they have connections all across the industry here. I've had the pleasure of watching several of their shows now and checking out some of this stuff. And even an old stubborn dog like myself is picking up tips and understanding things better with the guests they have on there. Not to mention the fact that they've agreed they're going to help us with the Patriot Borderlands Kayak Series for our second event that's going to be in Milford Lake, Kansas, out there, which, by the way, I've gone by there, checked it out. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to tie in with these guys, and let's go ahead, and they are sitting in the wings right now. So let's go ahead and bring in Tony and Tim Boyden here. Gentlemen, welcome to the Double S. How the heck are you?
Doing well. Thank you.
Awesome. Tim, are you, your
Good.
Shoulders are sore from all the fish catching
I think I'm
and
having
such?
a little bit of internet issues. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you look normal.
I look normal?
No, Tony looks
Oh.
normal. He's just stoic.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. No. Yeah, the shoulders are still hurting a little bit. I had to get a back rub when I got home because
Wow.
reeling those fish in kind of,
I don't know if you saw my intro, but I put one 12-inch fish up on the scales this weekend. My shoulders are fine.
Hey, you didn't skunk, so that's good. So,
Right? You
Yeah.
know, and And that's so important, man. I wanted to tell some of the new guys that
Yep.
had struggled during the tournament there. Hey, for the team and AOI stuff, man, one fish is massive,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that goes a long way in points, and you never know what it's going to boil down to. Most of the time, it's like a matter of inches and points. So every little bit counts.
Yeah. My first tournament that I entered for Kansas Kayak Anglers. So I have fished a lot of ponds in my life and all this and that. And I was like, I'm going to go into this tournament. I'm going to show these boys what's going on. I'm the best kayak, pond fisherman in the world. And I go there and I catch one 14-inch fish. I finished like dead last. So it humbles you real quick, let me tell you. So,
You
but
know, if you call it a sport, this sport of ours has maybe one of the best ways of just sitting you back down when when you start getting a little too much butter on your toast. It has a way of settling you right down there, and it's one of the things I love about it. Because if you fancy yourself an expert because you had a great season or you do well in your local area, hang on. Give it a little bit of time. If you're in this business for too much longer, trust me, it'll square you away real fast.
absolutely. I think Tony's working on his internet side over there, so he'll get it.
Heck yeah.
I can see you. You're back. A little fuzzy. It actually makes you look better because you're kind of ugly, so that fuzziness.
Tony, I feel you.
Yeah, I don't
dog.
know what's going on tonight.
I have a face for radio just like you. It's all good.
Yeah, that's why I got onto a podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's talk
So
about
I probably
the
should-
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go ahead and get right into that piece there. What we've got, it's called On the Line, right?
Yep.
A fishing podcast. Cut and dry. I love when marketing meets common sense, man. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on YouTube, folks, get over to YouTube. Go check them out there and get a subscribe. Smash that subscribe button on here, and you're going to dig this. If you want to stay in tune with
There's the logo there.
with the fishing, hey, there you go. Heck
Yep.
yeah.
Just on the line. Yep.
See, I don't even double S. We don't even have a T-shirt, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a little local company, and I was like, "Hey, here's the logo. Can you make me a shirt?" And they printed it out for me. So works
he just
pretty
made
good.
himself one. He forgot to get me
Yeah,
one.
well, yeah.
Oh, dang.
You
Tony-
gotta cover up your brother sometimes.
Right? Tony, talk to me about what made you decide you wanted to spin up a podcast, man. Because that's for those of you who don't know, it's a lot of damn work. It's a lot of work that goes into this to keep this up here. So what made you decide that?
Yeah, so really, I had this great idea one day to just do it. I don't know what he said because I was on it. No, we had somebody that used to do a podcast kind of in our local area, and he kind of got out of it, and Tim came to me, and I don't know what he said when I was faded out there with my internet, but Tim was like, "Hey, we really need to do this podcast again. I miss watching it. I miss watching what guys did at the local lakes, how they caught their stuff, talking to people, because it really does help build community having a podcast. People want to come on it. People want to come on it and things like that. But I mean, really, it was Tim's idea, and he kind of drugged me into it. And sometimes, we have a disagreement on what we should do about the podcast, but because there's two of us, but we usually come to an agreement. But it was really his idea to replace one that was previously here. So I'd say, Tim, what made you think of it?
Yeah, like I said, I just missed. Like we had a guy named John Morris, and he did the podcast. And you always want to know: did you have the right bait tied on? Did you want to have? Were you throwing the same bait as the winning guy? And you wanted to hear what that guy had to say and how he thought about that lake differently than, let's say, you thought about it. So if you got seventh and he was throwing a chatterbait and you were throwing a spinner bait, and you're like, oh, if I just would have thrown that chatterbait. And so I missed that. I missed, hearing the people talk about their day and how it went down and how they may have lost a big fish or a small fish or what, chose them to go left instead of right kind of deal. And so I said, hey, let's do it. And Tony's the electronic guy. So he makes all the scripts up. He gives me way too much credit, but I pretty much just say, hey, do you want to come on the podcast? He puts out the whole script and takes care of everything behind the scenes. And yeah, it's it's pretty exciting. I enjoy it.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. And we, for the first like 3-4 years, we were over here on the double S. We were the TPO Doc Talk, and we did fishing primarily, and then we also talked about veteran issues, first responder issues, and because of our nonprofit work, we made the kind of switch to where we'd be veteran first responder first. That also talks fishing, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that was something that I noticed out there. There was a lot of podcasts that were big, and the in crowd, if you will, whatever, this and that, the cool kids, and they're gone. They're just not there anymore. So I think it makes more room for the local guys. Now, do you guys only cover the Kansas Kayak Anglers Club, or do you cover more than that? Do you cover any regional stuff around you?
Yeah, as time permits. We also kind of the director of the Todd, the director of Kansas Kayak Anglers, also does the Kansas Bass Nation. Like we had Stoney on. I seen he was on not too long ago on your show. We had him on when he won the Big Bass
Nice.
250, and but he's a Kansas guy, right?
Yep.
We've had a few other people on outside of that, but we actually had Matt Collins on there from Colorado.
Nice.
And we had some people on from Eco Fishing Shop. So we kind of stay locally. We fish too much, so we don't get a chance to do a podcast every week.
Right.
Or we would probably branch out more, but opportunity presents itself, and we're always up for that. We just haven't branched out a whole past the Midwest. So
awesome. Yeah, man, it's it's easy, and it's awesome that when you there's something to be said for doing less better, right? We don't need to always be, covering the whole, going so big. There's always this thought, no matter what you do, that, got to go bigger, 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 bigger. But in all honesty, sometimes pulling back, right. And focusing in on some areas and just do it better. And stay true to the core of what you want to get after. So that's awesome. And you guys have enough, number one, you have some straight flat out hammers in the state of Kansas. You talked about one of them there, Stoney. Stoney and I have been buddies, and he is part of the TPO. He's part of my volunteer team that's out there. He helps us anytime that he's available. If we come into his neck of the woods, he makes donations every year. That we can hand away baits and fishing rods to people. I think we've given away like maybe 4 or 6 different rods that Stoney's donated to us. John Denton, who's right up there, real close to you guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
Brother John, he's done the same thing. He and his family, donate to the cause, and we have been able to do it quite a bit. But yeah, you guys have such a great area there. Where was I? Oh, I drove by, so I was at Milford, and then I drove over just to the north of the Kansas City area, and I stayed there, and I had some time, so I'm just checking out the map, and I'm like, good Lord, I'm like 3 hours away from just amazing fisheries within a 3-hour drive of here. Just, some of the, bucket list destinations across the Midwest US. Have you guys always been in Kansas City? In that area, Kansas area, or are you natives there, or did you move in there? Tim, we'll start with you.
Yeah, we've lived here our whole life in Topeka area.
Okay.
I actually live north of Topeka, but I'm by a couple local lakes like Banner Creek. I'm pretty close to Lake Shawnee, Perry Lake. I'm pretty close to Milford. It's only about an hour and 20, so it's not horribly far away from me. Cedar Bluffs is another good one. If you never fished Cedar Bluffs, it can be, a pretty good lake as well. But yeah, we've lived here our whole life, and we fished pretty much our whole life. So, we just a lot of people are like, Kansas sucks for fishing, but I'm like, you must be fishing the different lakes than me, because I think it's pretty good. We're not Texas. We don't catch, double-digit bass, but, we have 5-pound smallmouth and 7-pound largemouth, which is a pretty dang good lake.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, keep coming west if you want, rough bass fishing, right? Keep coming west.
Are those Colorado lakes, are they pretty pressured?
They're wickedly pressured. So
there's only a few of them.
Yeah. We are. They're all man-made reservoirs. Most of them are driven by, water rights that is just a complete mess out here. So, fluctuations, we're horribly overcrowded out here. And so, yeah, the pressure, and then you add in highland reservoir situations are just tough fishing for if you're hunting bass.
Yeah.
Little to no vegetation, crystal clear water, cold, right? I mean, that's what you got to go hunting these things. And you and I both know when you're dealing with smallies, man, those are smart. They're not like their bucktooth, cross-eyed green cousins, right? That you can throw a bottle cap at and convince them to bite, type thing.
All the hooks on it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, smallies are they're mean and they're smarter. They really, so you can easily ruin, especially in a kayak, you can ruin your chances by just simply drifting in, over them a little, getting too damn close to them. If they get a scent, or an idea that you're there, see ya, they're gone. So yeah, our water fish is small too. That might be the hardest part out here is that, 6.5 mile long lake, and there maybe are 3 legitimate locations that you can cash a check and win from, right?
Oh, wow.
And we all know it's fishing, right? It can happen anywhere, any day, anytime. But just look at the results, do the stats, look back, find out, and you start seeing it going, yeah, there's like 3 really high productive places on this big ass body of water that get it done. So that's the challenge out there that we deal with. But are most of the Kansas lakes out there, are most of them reservoirs, or are they, do you have some natural bodies of water that you deal with?
There is only one natural body of water, I think, in Kansas. And that was actually natural, a lake anyway. I think all the rest are man-made reservoirs or state lakes or, yeah.
Tony, are you guys considered a highland res also out there? Are your lakes highland reservoirs?
No.
No.
So they're, yeah, I don't think we have any. I'm trying to think. No.
No, the closest one would be that one that you went out to in western Kansas. That's probably close to a highland reservoir. What's that called?
Yeah.
But
I can't think of the name of it now. But no, I would say no. I'm trying to think of any. No. So
because most you have pretty decent vegetation in most of your bodies of water out there, right?
Yep. Except one that they sprayed.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Don't even get me started on that. But
right,
one of the best lakes in Kansas.
Yeah, they ruined it. But yeah, most of them. That's the only one I was thinking about. Wilson. I was like, nah, it's not really a highland reservoir. So
that's what I was going to wonder is if Wilson. I've only been to Wilson one time. Had an awesome time. Actually, that's where I met Marty Hughes for the first time. Was at Wilson during an All-American. Back when that series was rolling there. Mr. Brickland tuning in. He was going to co-host with me tonight, but he's got family he's taking care of. So, Brother Brick, we love you, dog, and you take care of the family there. Jason, hey, big congratulations to Mr. Jason Ginger, also part of the TPO team. Top 10 in like his second or third tournament ever, the Grassroots Legends Series down in Moyac. He came in 10th place there. Nice job, brother.
Impressive.
Great job. Brother Jay joining us here. Appreciate you, dog. He quarterbacked and put together a field op that we went out and did today out at Aurora Res. Tough fishing again, but we did see the guys did catch themselves some trout, and it was beautiful weather, so that was an awesome deal. But who do we have here? I do not know who this is. Organics.
Kansas guy.
Is it a Kansas guy?
Yeah, Derek.
All right. Awesome. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Yeah, awesome. So I just wanted to take a quick there. We always love when folks are tuning in and checking us out here. Well, awesome, dude. So you guys get the podcast going. How long before the podcast were you both into tournament angling? Did you come from the boat world, or has it always been kayak for you?
I'll start with that one. For me, it was. I think I got on I grew up kind of a fair weather fisherman. Tim would take me a lot of times. He's my older brother. I just want to make sure I point that out that he's older than I am.
Not much older though.
But we had an older brother that's even older than us too, and he used to take us fishing. He had a pontoon boat. Never did tournaments or anything. Pond fishing, small town pond fishing, rural areas, lakes and stuff like that. So in 2018, my oldest brother he was going down to Florida to pick up a kayak, and he goes, "You need to go kayaking with me, man. It's the best thing ever." And I'm like, "All right, it's the best thing ever. Another one of these. That's the best thing ever. You got to do it, right?" One of those types.
Exactly.
He's actually a vet himself, and he was in the Army and stuff. But he was like, "Yeah, you gotta go with me." I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? I want to go to Florida. I hadn't been to Florida yet." And I got on the kayak, and we spent like 4 or 5 days, and we did like Gulf of Mexico, Mexico Beach area, Panama
Oh,
City,
wow.
and we did some
Don't you
inland.
mean Gulf of America, Tony?
You're right.
There's a sign there now.
Oh my gosh!
It's official.
So yes, but yeah, so we went down there to the it was actually Mexico Beach, Mexico
Nice.
City Beach, right next to Panama City.
Yeah,
Absolutely gorgeous, white sands.
it is
And
gorgeous.
we were down there for about 5 days. I came back and I looked at my wife and I said, "This is my life now." And she's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And I was like, and that was 2018. I came back. I bought my first paddle kayak, and honestly, I go in a boat fishing. I go in on bank fishing, and I don't love it as much as being in my kayak.
I feel that.
So I got into kayak fishing, and then I upgraded stuff. And then Tim had done it about a year before I did, and about 3 years ago, I got into actually got a pedal kayak, like a Hobie, and did my first tournament, and pretty much skunked the first 3 tournaments. But came back that year and was able to win our national or our Kansas State championship in the Kansas Bass Nation.
Good
So
stuff.
actually, yeah, so I actually got to go to the 10 killer championship for Bassmaster.
Very cool.
And now you said earlier, it's not going to change your life, but it kind of did, because now I'm hooked, and I can't stop. Tim and I are both on the Kansas Kayak Anglers admin team now, and fish all these different tournaments and stuff. And I've done a couple of Bassmasters, and I just absolutely love it. I don't really care if I win. I mean, it's great when I win, but I just love being in my kayak fishing. It's peaceful, and it's good for your mental health and physical health, and winning's always nice, but it's not my thing. So I've done it this will be my 4th year tournament fishing.
Very cool.
And about my 7th or 8th year kayak fishing.
So what I heard right there, Tim, is that you're the pusher of this addiction of kayak fishing.
That can retire now.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, man, it gets you there. I came from the boat world. I'm in the kayak game now, and 99% of the time I don't ever look back. I'm so thankful to be out on the water in a kayak. Every once in a while, it's like, man, it sure would be nice on this big body of water to be able to go see a lot more of it today. Unfortunately, that's the only difference. I can still see all of it that I want to. It's just going to take more than a day, outing. I can't motor up and drop 65 mile an hour to, up the lake to go see, certain things. But Tim, was it from pond straight to kayak with you as well? Or did you, for as far as tournaments are concerned?
Yeah. So our older brother had a 24-foot pontoon boat. And so we'd go out the lakes and fish off of it. And I started fishing when I was about 12. And instantly, pretty much, it was the best thing ever. I'd never hunted. I just fished. That's it. Been fishing for, 38 years. So, and then about the last 10 years, I took it pretty serious. In the last 5 years, I've been kayak fishing. And same thing, older brother went out on a kayak, and I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. So I bought me a little $200 one sit-in. I took to all the little ponds. And then I went up to, I think, Dick's Sporting Good 12-footer, and then I went into a Hobie Outback, and then I went to a Hobie PA14, and then I have a combination of a Hobie 14 and a Lynx. But I mean, I'm on that kayak, like I'm glued to it. So with Marty's event this year, I'm trying to get that 2026 fish, and I am fishing my heart out. So
that is so awesome, man. Yeah, I am always so jealous of you guys that live within, that striking distance of, water and such. We have it here, but it's an event when you want to get out, and especially I don't have a kayak that you can pedal. So, with New Canoe, the way I'm rigged out, it's for motor, right? And so my battleship that I have also, I've added a lot of weight to it, so I need to, I can still do the truck bed, but it's not as easy as toss it in and just go. I'll be honest with you, I'm considering switching over to this U10 as my tournament rig. It's a 10-foot 10. It's the little brother to the Unlimited, 41-inch wide, super stable rig, and it's like, man, that extra 20 pounds shaved off, boy, that could save the old man's back and shoulders a little bit. I could sling that thing around a little easier and get in some of these little bodies of water. But so the podcast kicks up. Talk to me a little bit about, so that I can better understand, like, let me set the stage. So in Colorado, we have two major clubs. The oldest and the biggest one is the Colorado Kayak Fishing Club. Okay. That is, they also do tournaments. They're all about community. They're all about, they raise money every year and they donate it to a deserving nonprofit that their board, works on. And they do substantial, donations. They're big time community driven, is their thing. And they have a multi-species, and then they have a bass, side. Then we also have the Colorado Kayak Bassmasters, which is its own separate club, definitely more for those folks that are trying to work their way to the Bassmaster, natty that they want to get a piece of. And they have a little bit bigger payouts because it's a higher entry fee to get in, more competition driven, right? For sure. So it's its own club. But now in Nebraska, they have one event for their Bassmaster Club. No series, no schedule. They just do one open event and there you go type thing. Is Kansas that way also, or does Kansas have multiple Bassmaster events that go off?
Tim, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I could take it. So
Right.
the last couple of years we had 4 or 5, which Todd is in charge of as well. This year I think he's just doing one, isn't he? I believe
Yeah,
that's all.
for the Bassmaster, they're actually
At Milford.
he used to do like 3 tournaments. You had to make 2 to qualify, and then the Bassmaster. We're just doing one at Milford this year, actually, like September 19th. It'll be an open one.
Mhm.
We kind of had attendance lowered, and so we're trying to get people from other states to come in so we can send more than one person.
Right.
And then so he's also we kind of work with the Kansas Kayak Anglers, kind of do them. They're usually a higher entry one, and then we weren't getting the numbers, so we kind of just changed it around a little bit. But Kansas Kayak Anglers actually formed from a bunch of different groups. We had a bunch of localized groups when there was like 10 or 12 people. And like, hey, let's bring them all together like 4 or 5 years ago. And then so we kind of keep them together, but there's only a few other small clubs around here that do kayak stuff now. The other ones kind of fizzled out. So it's pretty much the 2 biggest ones are the Kansas Kayak Anglers and then the Kansas Bass Nation, which is really just one event now. So
Right.
Yep.
Well, and I've seen several states run into that where they get multiple clubs and it's like an all-purpose cleaner, right? It doesn't do, no one club does any one thing great. They just all kind of, do many things okay. So when you join forces like that, it's a better offering for the anglers, and it's a better deal getting everybody together. Sounds like that's what you guys did there. And I know Iowa, I think, also did the same thing up there, is they joined a lot of their clubs together. But yeah, the Bassmaster thing, is it just attendance? Do you think? I should obviously be asking Todd a lot of this stuff, but is it, do you think it's mainly attendance that the reason to go down to just one event for bass?
yeah, I think last year he's tried it a few different ways, and we talk a lot about it because Tim and I are on the admin team as well for the Kansas Kayak Anglers, so about what he's doing, and like last year we had 3 events separate from the actual championship, and I think there was maybe no more than 10 at each event.
Oh,
and that's a lot for take a whole Saturday and get trophies and put the word out and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, dude.
So he decided that he would open up the championship last year. That was the first year that he actually did it, because he was trying to get more people. And we had a couple people from Colorado, and I think maybe a couple from Missouri, and a couple from Kansas, and then of course, like, the entry fee is more, so I think that's gonna drive some people away.
Yep.
And then if you do win, then the cost to go to the Bassmaster Championship and the cost for entry, and if you don't have sponsors and all that stuff.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. So I've been doing this a lot of years. All right. Chase things around back in my boat days, chased them around with bass, said, screw that. Went to the FLW back when it was still FLW, started running those series. I'm not quite sure what, and make no mistake. Let me say this first. Steve Owens, I love him. Okay. He is a awesome human being. And he's a phenomenal tournament director. He truly is. And he seems to be an extremely wise businessman. But I will also openly say, I can also say that I don't understand the train of thought with this. Kayak angling, one of the major things about kayak angling has been that got a lot of people into it is cost of entry. It was much lower. It was easier for people to come compete and hang out with people. But now you got this industry, and don't even get me started on the products and the kayaks, for the love of Pete. Every time you turn around, they're not going simplistic or more intuitive. What they're doing is bigger, more expensive, and hey, you're talking to a guy that had a $3,000, trolling motor on his boat, on my kayak, okay, last season. I don't anymore. I sold it, got rid of it because it's ridiculous. But I can say I tried it. And yeah, 6.5 mile an hour out of a kayak from a bow mount trolling motor, pretty cool. But ultimately, it's what flipped me on Elwood Reservoir in Nebraska there.
No.
But at any rate, so you work your butt off to qualify. It's not easy to qualify for the Natty if you're coming through the clubs. Mm-hmm. And your prize is $450 or whatever for an entry fee. What in this? Am I the only one that goes, wow, I don't think I want to win that?
I mean, I definitely like to win it. Don't get me wrong, but
right. But to be put in that position to drive, 25 hours away for us out here, everything is a drive for us. And then have to pay that an entry fee is only one small piece of it, but still that's, there's something about that just doesn't strike me right, man. It's like, I don't know. I hope it works. I hope I'm just an old fuddy dud that's over here like, turn your music down, I hope that's what it is, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that can't afford that entry fee. Can't afford to go. I mean, just a normal tournament, a bass tournament, you're looking to spend $1,000, and that's if it's close.
Amen.
Yeah.
People don't realize that.
Yeah. If you got the money, that's fine. But if a lot of people are struggling with inflation and all that, and I mean it's hard to whip $1,000 out and go to 7 of them this year, or that's $7,000 worth of if you do all of them.
Yeah, explain that one to the little lady.
Yeah,
let's see how far that conversation goes.
Including vacation time from work, and
yeah.
I thought about doing one. I thought about doing the Fox River one because I love smallmouth. And they say the smallmouth, a 20-inch smallmouth up there is normal, and so I'm thinking about doing that one. I got my little Hobie Lynx I could just drag around with me, and I'm a smallmouth. Anything smallmouth, I'm on it. So any new bait, any new tackle, like I am laser focused on them. So. Yeah.
Dude, I've fished that out of my boat.
Really?
Yes, that area up there several times. We used to go there for the BFLs back in the FLW days. Wolf River chain of lakes is what they called it. So you got Winneconne, which sits up top, and it's basically like 12 foot all the way across, like a mile across. It's super shallow. That ties down into, or ties right next into Boyden. There's an invisible line that separates those two lakes. And so you got Winneconne and you got Boyden. Drop down and it's Butte de Morts. If you go through this little channel area there, the channel's super cool because I've stayed at a hotel that was right on that channel and you can launch from your hotel. That was super cool. Yeah. And then from there, the Fox River runs out of Butte de Morts. It also runs down and ties into Winnebago, which is the monster. And I've seen some guys bring some bags of smallies back from there that are like, but that's like Great Lakes type fishing down there. Yeah. I don't know if you really want to probably take that on in a kayak or not, because some of those guys would have to get way out there, with their
Yeah.
boat and really scope them up. But then if you run to the north, it's the Wolf River chain that runs all the way up north there. And I have run that thing so many times. It is a beautiful area. Those folks breathe fishing up there, man. It's the communities are fantastic, great food, and yeah, the fishing is super cool.
So, Gene, would you take your PA-14 or would you take your Hobie Lynx up there if you had a choice?
So I don't have Hobie. I'm actually part of Team New Canoes national team, so
Yeah,
I would take neither of those.
You'd throw them in the garbage, wouldn't you?
No, I'd sell them. I'd sell them because they're worth like 3 of mine. So
No, you're good. You're good.
no, I would if I were going up there. Personally, I'd take something maybe the bigger one.
Really? Okay.
Just because those rivers are not small rivers.
Okay.
And those lakes, I don't know if in the kayak game are the lakes in play.
I don't know yet. I don't think they have a border for that yet.
I haven't
Gotcha.
seen one.
So when Hobie went up there, Hobie took the lakes out of play. But now I knew why they did that.
Yes.
Because at the time they were still not allowing motors, and they had they still have probably the best pedal drive system on the planet, and so their series was kind of showcasing what these PAs could do in the river current, right?
Gotcha.
The current isn't huge. There are some choke points where it picks up a little bit, but most of the time it's pretty easy going current that you're going to deal with. But yeah, the Fox, I've run you can run a bass boat up that, and same with the Wolf. You can run a bass boat. They have no wake zones that you have to slow down, but I've run 65, 70 mile an hour up that thing.
Yeah.
It's big enough for that. So yeah, I would say, but I guess maybe it all depends on, just how mobile you want to be. Because if you do want to pick up and, relaunch, then maybe the smaller, which that might not be a bad idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to go up there and crack that problem, and figure it out myself. That'd be a great run up there. But so yeah, awesome. Good stuff. So on the line, you guys are normally on Thursday nights. Is that right?
That's typically when we try to be on. Sometimes
Nice.
it changes based on people's schedule, but most of the time it's Thursday night at 7.
Thursday night,
Central
7.
Time, Central Standard Time.
Yep. So 7 Central Time, so 6 our time out here.
Yep.
Awesome. And you go live on YouTube. That's on there. Do you also shoot it over to Facebook as well from any of the pages or anything?
No, we've thought about it. We've talked about doing it, setting up like a Facebook page or just streaming it live to our Kansas Kayak Anglers page, because that's kind of our biggest audience.
Yep.
And we're also trying to promote that in the community there we have with Kansas Kayak Anglers. So
Yeah.
we thought about it, just haven't yet. So
And Gene, that's not every Thursday. It's just mainly
Yeah.
like after tournaments, and sometimes we have special ones in between tournaments.
Oh,
So
sweet.
once every 3 weeks, roughly, is about when we
Yeah.
go on. So,
good call. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. I've been thinking that myself during the season here when the field ops and the tournaments are going. I've actually been considering going back to like maybe just twice a month,
Yeah.
doing. So I get that. I feel that as well. It's a lot of dang work
It
that
really
goes
is.
into these things.
I hope everybody appreciates you, Gene, for all the hard work you put into this.
Oh, I don't worry about that. I'll be honest. I hit that age where I don't give 3 squirts of monkey shit. I know my close circle of people. I know I am loved by them, and therefore I am strong in that. And we stay true to our mission on this where we go. But as you guys know, I mean, you run across some folks that maybe should have been a little bit more, like, hey, thanks, but that aren't.
Yeah.
And we just don't run in those circles anymore. That's usually my response to it is like, hey, cool. Fool me once.
well, the older you get to, the less you're just like, eh. So,
Dog. You got it, Tim. I mean, that BS meter taps quick these days.
It really does. It really does.
I'll tell you that the biggest thing that I've seen that maybe Mike gets underneath my skin more than anything is the selfish side of things. I don't have a lot of tolerance for that in my life. And I don't expect what I do out of anybody else. That's not the thing. But when I see people that are all the, me focused, I don't mesh well with those folks. Now I promote, I get out there and I jump on a soapbox or I'll do this or that. And it's for this mission. It's for this purpose here. It's not to get ribbons or accolades or attaboys. That's never been the purpose of what we're trying to do here. If anything, I'm trying to atone, y'all, for a life of being a bonehead. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, no, this is the podcasting thing is always fun because you get a chance to just sit around, chop it up with cool dudes like yourselves. So talk to me real quick here. This is ridiculous stuff. You put up some 90 some odd ass inches, both of you today, and you're just hanging out. It's a Sunday. I'm out at my church of fishing and doing what you're doing. Is that like a doable, normal thing for your neck of the woods, Tony, where you guys are at? Or is that like, that's a pretty damn good day? I mean, how good is this Kansas fishing? Should I be moving or what's going on here?
I'd say for me, it's not a normal day. That's maybe a once every couple months kind of thing.
Cool.
I'd say it's pretty, when I go out and then I'm not doing a tournament, 85 inches kind of the normal day for me. Like, sometimes if I get a big one, a kicker fish, maybe a high 80s, but I would say above 90s, not a normal day for me.
Greens and browns or mainly greens?
This was mainly greens. I did have, the last good day I had with smallie fishing was at Milford last year when I had 86 plus inches smallmouth.
So let's talk a little bit about that, Tim. We're going to Milford. PBKS is coming to Milford end of May. Folks, hang tight for us. We'll be announcing some stuff on how we're going to do, just like we did in Mexico. If you want, go look at New Mexico, look at their bass club, and you'll see that event. Look at the PBKS site. You'll see what we did there. If you're looking for a high pressure, high competition, we're not the gig for you. Okay. If we get 2 people, success. We don't need big numbers. That's not what we're here for. We're here to celebrate vets, first responders, and their families, say thank you, and above all, reconnect with the community side. Come if you want inappropriate jokes and you want some good barbecue, hanging out, and we're going to have some friendly, competition in there where we'll hand out some goofy stuff here and there, and then we got some cool prizes to give away from some amazing sponsors. So that's basically what we're going to try to do, and just try to reconnect and show new people what we fell in love with, in the kayak side so much, right? It's a great event for new folks that want to come check it out, see what's going on. We encourage people. Mother shipping's allowed. If it floats, you can get in. I don't care what it is, if it's a belly boat or a boat. All we ask is during takeoff that you 100% do not use your big motor at takeoff with it, because it's a shotgun start. So just use your trolling motor when you're taking off until all the kayaks are clear. Then you can do what you want to do. You can do a team thing too. If you and the spouse want to get in and only one of you is signed up, cool. We're all right with that too. We're mainly just here to, like I said, break bread, chop it up, have a good time, and hang around camp Friday night and Saturday night. That's where we'll be at the campsites there, cooking up some food and hanging around and like I said, sharing stories. And if this last event's anything indicative of what this next event, the jokes, man, you'll want to damn near write them down, because they were good and plentiful and they kept coming. So
some of those jokes will stick with you through life that your uncle told back in 1974, and you're like, I still remember that to this day.
Dude, if you got thin skin, this isn't the event for you either.
Well, I'm a service technician, so I've heard about every
love
joke.
It.
So yeah,
love it. Yeah, that's I always know when I do a field op, when I take these guys and gals out, the moment they start cracking on me, I know it's like, yes, I'm in. They trust me well enough to, oh my God, today, this might be the meanest burn and one of the best ever. And I was like, ouch, this one hurts. So I struggled on Saturday, right? Got one little rat, got one other bite that was too small. Just random. I could never, really settle in on something in this area. Then today we go out to a total different res on the other side of the metro area, Aurora Reservoir this time. And dude, I'm watching fish on live scope like crazy. And I'm the only one with live scope there, so that's what I use for the guiding. You know, I'm trying to get guys on. I'm directing traffic, right? 25 feet right out this way, let it get to the bottom, throw your Ned rig out there type thing. Nothing. By the end of the day, 3 other guys that went out with me all had caught a trout. Okay. I don't even have trout gear, right? One of the guys was like, well, these hooks are a little too big. I'm like, that's the smallest hook I have in my entire arsenal. It's for bass.
Like
it's not meant
7/0.
yeah, right. We're almost at the end of the day, second to third last cast. Everybody's talking, well, hey man, we beat the skunk there, and I'm like, yeah, speak for yourself. I still haven't even caught a trout. Homeboy behind me is like, I don't know. I might want to go get my money back from that live scope if I was you. And I'm like, ow. But I knew, I was like, sweet, I'm in. I got, homies with me now. And that's always the great, and there's plenty of that goes around at these events, man. We have a good time. And that's what Milford is exciting. How much experience, Tim, do you have at Milford? You say Smalley's there. You know that place pretty well?
I know it pretty well, actually. Tony, like I said, won last year, but I think I caught 60 smallmouth each day I was there in practice.
Holy biscuits.
Now, most of them are, between 10 and 13 inches, but you do get those 16s. And the state record did come out of Milford, which is like 6.8 pounds, I believe. So,
wow.
So it did come out of Milford. Mainly, if you stay around, I would say with you guys being a friendly tournament around the dam area in that area, throw top water, throw some poppers, maybe some, I don't know, whopper ploppers, throw some Ned rigs. The dam's unforgiving though with those rocks.
Right.
That dam there, yeah, I was on the dam last year and I got it on video. I hooked into a 9-pound channel cat on the Ned rig, and I thought it was, of course, the state record smallmouth. That's my inside joke. Everything I took was state record, right? And so, but that thing took me for a ride, and I got it in. It was 9-pound channel cat, so that was kind of interesting.
Wow, that's exciting. So, would you guys, Tony? You won the thing last year. Would you say the fishery healthy as an overall fishery goes?
Tim might disagree with me, but I think as far as fisheries in Kansas, it's probably one of the healthiest.
Sweet.
They really push fishing out there. I mean, they do recreation too, but they really keep up on stocking it. And there's so many different places, rocks and ledges and, back in coves, laydowns. I mean, you got a river coming in, so you got real muddy to the north. Right north, Tim.
Correct.
The lake's kind of weird, kind of angled. So and then the dam area is a lot clearer water. So it's really got just a whole hodgepodge of everything you want. I mean,
the marina is nice. There's a nice marina there that you can go.
Yeah,
into.
they have a nice marina. I think it's the largest lake too in Kansas.
It is.
Yeah. So it's just got everything, right? So if you wanted to chase largemouth, you can go back in the coves and chase largemouth. I know a couple people caught some 4 and 5 pound largemouth in the tournament last year. I think my biggest was 18.5 smallmouth.
Wow.
I had like 18.5, 17.5, 17.5, 17, and 17, and I missed some bigger ones. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Remind me after we close out here tonight. Remind me. I'll tell you where I was initially, because I had a chance to go there and kind of drive around it. I literally drove around the entire lake on that day to kind of check things out. Went all the way up to the north. Went up to Wakefield. Looked at that. And that wind coming out of the south, man, that changed my idea in a hurry about going up there, just because there's no place to hide up there. And that area was the day I was there was very windy. And I'm like, Lord, I am not putting new folks in kayaks on that, because it looked fishy. I like that, but I've got another, but yeah, remind me afterwards and I'll check with you guys and see if I'm setting us up for something okay for these folks, or if there's a better idea of where to launch and such. But yeah, I did notice that it seems like there's like different zones around this lake, right? You've got a lot of different types of fishing you can do in it. And I love bodies of water that offer that sort of thing. So I'm personally excited to get up there, but hoping it'll be a great place to kind of just gather some folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a gorgeous lake. And like I said, it's fishes a lot of different ways depending on your style of fishing, or you have new people. I mean, I did this weird thing where I did all the metrics for our tournaments to see, who turned up, what had the most people turn up the tournaments, who caught the most limits, which lakes, for when we're thinking about lakes for the next year, right?
You're a stats man. I love it.
I'm a nerd.
Love that.
I do a lot of that stuff. But it was actually, I think there was only like one person in our tournament that didn't get a limit, one or two people that didn't get a full 5-fish limit of like 30 or so people.
That's strong.
Yeah.
That's
so,
good.
I mean, they're not big fish, but especially for people who are just getting into it.
Yes.
And, that smallie bite, right? Like, it's addictive. So,
dude, and you know that any day out on the water, if you're catching even if they're dinks or whatever, that's what we're just trying to get people on fish and get them into an area, right? So that's
if you
the
throw a
main
Ned
thing.
rig out there, you'll catch a smallmouth.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. So I was driving in and I'm looking at the map. I think I was coming up 77, driving up to enter up, get up by the park there. And as I'm coming in, I look out in the distance here, and it's slow moving. I see this chopper up here, and as I get closer, I'm like, "Good Lord, that's a damn Apache that's sitting there." And they were just—I don't know if they were running some tests or what they were doing, but they were just slowly coming across. And I'm like, "Yep, I'm in the right area, Fort Riley, right there. I must be in the right location."
I know I'm an American, but when I see an AH-64 Apache come over a hill, it still scares the crap out of me. Like,
Hell yes!
Like, man, I would be so dead right now.
And that's the truth, right? I mean, it's just like, you got no place to hide if that bad boy's on you.
No, it's still like I drove by Fort Riley a lot, and I'll see it pop up over the hill, and I'm like, I'm a good guy. Every time I think of my head, every time. But
I got a big American flag that's right on the hood of my truck, so I thought I'd probably be all right.
yep. Yeah, or I see a drone flying, I'm like, hey, I'm one of the good guys.
Exactly.
Now, Gene, you were saying that. So did you guys all launch from like the same boat ramp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, so what we did our first event, and what we try to do, so we want to do a shotgun start, right? It's the whole remove and isolation. We want to bring everybody together, and we're going to start in the same location. We actually do something, I'm bringing it from the boat world over. We do an invocation first thing in the morning, and then we play the national anthem before we launch, and then basically send everybody off, and then, come back at a certain time, come back anywhere they want to. But yeah, so just something we try to do, first thing in the morning, get things going. As soon as we got safe light, that's when we get the invocation and get everybody launched, because we try to go over last minute safety, that sort of thing in the event of wind and or weather, just to make sure that everybody understands that, hey, nothing is worth your safety. Make sure you're back here, and if you have any questions, hit us up. Because I'm usually out there trying to, and the other team members that'll be with me, we're going to be helping new folks where we can, and any experienced anglers that are willing to do that as well. Really appreciate that, giving tips and helping folks get on fish. So whether it's a big gathering or an actual tournament event that we do, we'll figure that part out. But one way or another, we want to make sure that everybody gets out, has fun till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock or whatever. And then we get back to camp so we can brew up some good food and give away some cool prizes. So
yeah, we can talk to you after the show as far as if the wind's coming from the north or the south, like some areas that we think are high probabilities of actually getting, especially new people on fish.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Perfect. Good stuff. All right, folks, make sure you head over, go check out On the Line, a fishing podcast with these two gentlemen right here. Go check them out. Thursdays is when they air. If you go to YouTube, you'll be able to see all their episodes there, and go back and check through, go through their library there and check out. There's some great shows in there. You guys do a fantastic job. You're anglers talking to anglers, man. So that's the easy part, right? That makes it easy. What's the average length of, do you guys do long form stuff like we do here as well? Because I mean, once anglers start talking fishing stories, it's hard to stop them.
Oh, yeah.
I have to be the time monitor. Let's just put it that way.
Right?
I mean, I'm
Maybe
like,
3 hours if I had it control. So yeah.
yeah,
Right?
We're like, hey, we're gonna do a 30-minute podcast tonight. 3 hours later.
Yeah. I always tell the wife, she's like, when do you think you'll be done tonight? I'm like, probably 8. She's like, okay, 9 o'clock. Got it.
We always tell everybody that if we get too deep into it and you really need to leave, we understand, and we give you to say, put your hand up, say bye, and leave. Just leave, because we're not. None of us
Kids are graduating college. I'll see you later.
Yeah. I usually go downstairs. Man, those guys were talkative, honey. I'm sorry. She's like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's easy, man, when you start sharing the stories with fishing, because that's half the maybe even more than half of what drives us. Just the instances, the things that we've seen and encountered out there. It's interesting. It's fun. It's scary. It's adrenaline. I mean, it's everything all together, right? Especially in the bass side.
Absolutely. I actually had a interesting thing happen tonight. I was out fishing a small body of water, a little lake, a little city lake, and I get my kayak around the corner. It's full of grass. Like I'm pedaling through the grass with my Hobie, and this guy's backing his boat down. And it's kind of a treacherous ramp, and I'm just getting around the corner. I hear him start screaming to the top of his lungs, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And I look back and I don't see him in his boat, and he's just screaming. So I turn around. I pedal back to the boat as fast as I can. I thought it was an older guy that was drowning, and it's him and I are the only ones on the whole lake. And I get back over there, and he's on his floor of his boat, and he's like, "I dislocated my knee. My knee popped out." And I'm like,
"Oh shit!"
Paddle up the shore, get his phone. His truck was still running. The boat was still on the ramp. Get his phone for him. He's like, "I don't want to go to the hospital." He goes, "You know, put my knee back in for me." I was like, "Well, I can watch a YouTube video, but I can't be liable." He goes, "Look at the YouTube video and pop it back in for me." So as we're talking about it, his knee just goes pop and pop back in by itself. And so he's like, "I'm good now. I'm good." I was like, "You just wanted to get to that spot over there, didn't you? You just messing with me." He goes, "No, seriously, I'm hurt." So he goes, "Well, I'm going to go try to fish for some big crappie in there." And I was like, "All right." So I pedaled back. I look back, and he's loading his boat up, and he just took off because his knee hurt so bad. I'm like,
"Oh, I bet."
But that screaming, I thought somebody was dying. I mean, it was bad. So
dude, that's scary.
Yep. Very, very interesting experience tonight. So, yeah.
We were at Elwood Reservoir last year for their state championship. I believe it was their state championship. We were at Elwood, and one of the first mornings, it might have been the CKB event that we held there as well. Yeah, we get there first thing in the morning for tournament day, and there's a young man who fell on the dam. He was shore fishing, and he fell down the rocks and tore up his leg really bad. And these walleye guys that were out in the middle of the night saw it, and saw him there, and they put him in the boat, and they got him back to the ramp, called an ambulance. So as everybody's like loading up to go tournament fishing, an ambulance pulls up right in the, in the dark out there at Elwood Reservoir. Yep. So everybody's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" It's like, no, it's one jackwagon over here busted himself up on the dam. And he was a young kid too. It was like, poor kid. But yeah, he couldn't put any weight on it. That's scary stuff out there. It's a reminder, right? Anything could happen at any time. So definitely make sure you're out there with somebody. Well, listen, gentlemen, I appreciate you guys in a major way. I'm looking forward to learning more about the Kansas Kayak Anglers. What is a normal for Kansas Kayak Anglers? What's a normal outing for folks, for you guys? Are you putting 20 anglers on a normal event, 30 anglers? What's kind of normal for you guys?
Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, yeah. We've really been trying to increase. It kind of went down. COVID, it kind of started going up, and then it kind of went down. Everybody says it's due to the COVID babies. they couldn't get out and fish anymore. But
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but we've seen a pretty good steady increase the last 2 years, and so this year our first tournament had 33. We're trying to keep it around 30,
That's
or
awesome.
higher. So our membership's up this year about 20%. So we're getting close to that 50 members. Trying to keep it between 35. If we get to 35 people, then we pay out like 5 spots, and it's
Hell yeah.
we've kind of spread out the money, so it's not like the top 2 guys get all the money. So
Yeah.
because it really is about getting more people out and having fun.
Agreed.
No one's gonna retire early if they win one of these things. It's we try to do a lot of prizes and stuff for our anglers, and that's been really a big push. It's hard to get sponsors sometimes, for the local clubs, small clubs. We've got a couple really good ones that are local and help us out, but everybody shows up. We all talk. We all tell each other what we caught fish on. So that's our average. I would say last year was 25. So people
That's
per
awesome.
tournament. Yeah.
That's a great field when you're pushing those kind of numbers like that. That's we actually have one lake here in the state where we limit it to like one of these years. The past couple of years ago, we limited the entries to 25 because it's kind of small, and we didn't want to have much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 25 people that signed up got in, type thing. So that's a good number to have. Most of the lakes that you guys fish, eastern Kansas, do you stretch out to the west ever? Because you got Norton, Cedar Bluff, those are good fisheries out there. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys ever come over to those throughout
We
the
do.
season?
Yeah. We've done Wilson, Cedar Bluffs. We haven't done Norton before. We talked about it, but
It's pretty
I
fun.
would say the the core group of I would say 75% plus are really in that, 75, area from like
Topeka.
Omaha down to Wichita area.
Yep.
So in the eastern part of Kansas to middle part. So and plus there's fewer lakes as you get farther west,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are drying up too.
Yeah.
So I would say the majority of them are southeast Kansas to northeast Kansas.
Cool.
So
Well, and that's still, to be honest with you, from Colorado, dude, that's not a bad drive at all. Especially if you leave really early in the morning, you can get through eastern Colorado, western Kansas. Do that when it's dark, and then you're okay. Because the moment you start to get, closer to, I'd say Russell, and you start to get closer there, green starts to show up, right? And it's like, okay, yes, I'm at least now out of the dust bowl, out of that area there, because it is. I mean, there's a whole lot of Jack and shit out there, and Jack left town.
Seems like Groundhog Day. It's like it just keeps going and going
Yeah.
and going. It's it's rough.
yeah.
And there's not a lot of there's a lot of truck stops, but not a lot of towns. And all the truck stops start to look the same on the interstate as you're going down that thing. I've driven it more times than I can count, back and forth along that run. So, but still, yeah, it's not bad. Once you get there, it's about 7 hour run for us out there. So yeah, I have to be watching you guys. Love to come over and hang out and jump in one of these events with you guys. Let you take my money.
Tim says he'll pay for your tournament entry fee.
Appreciate that. That's what a nice guy he is.
And you know what? After the show, I'll tell you right where Tony won the tournament at.
This podcasting gig isn't such a bad deal after all.
I'll send you the coordinates personally.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right, gentlemen. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up here. I'm excited to jump on your show there and talk some fishing and help promote the PBKS thing here for everybody that's watching this and still, or either watching it recorded or watching it live. Go check out the Kansas Kayak Anglers. Check out, again, the podcast On the Line -X2M on YouTube. Go subscribe there. Let's see if we can bump their subscription numbers here. And yeah, go check out any if you want to, get plugged into real fishing information. These guys here got you covered. And check out the tournaments that are going on over there. Of course, we're going to be at Milford. That's the one we're going to highlight. I feel like we've chosen right after talking with Todd. He helped kind of lead me to that lake. That would probably be the best that most people would be interested in. Maybe running over to. So. And we'll be coming at the end of May. May 30th is when we'll be over there. We're going to be staying at the Acorn Resort. We got a couple camp spots over there. I think they still have plenty of stuff open there. So if anybody else wants to jump in, that's over there. But that's on next to Farnham Creek, I think is where that's located right there. So, all righty, gentlemen, is there anything that we were going to talk about that I didn't talk about tonight with you guys, or did we cover everything?
That's all I can think of.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Folks, you know the routine. Go ahead and show some love across all the channels out there. It helps us get the message out a little bit further. And not that we really need, or gauge anything on the likes and follows, but it does help us when it comes to trying to spread the word about the mission and get sponsorship and help and support out there. So it's a great way you can help us out there if you'd like to do that. Next Sunday, let's see, next Sunday, we're taking a break next Sunday. That's right. We're not going to have a show next Sunday, so we'll be coming back the following Sunday. After that, we're actually going to go ahead and make good on that. It's been 6 years, man. I've been going every Sunday night, but this year is the first time that we're going to start taking some breaks in there, and I think next Sunday we're going to, because I'll be leaving for a super exciting vacation with my wife. This is one I'm actually looking forward to. So, folks, make sure to smash that subscribe. All the good stuff out there, like we tell you always in the past. Tight lines, be safe, be good to each other, and God bless.